Hello guys and ladies. Um so I'm going to talk to you about reducing the power of colds, as in sore throat, runny nose, runny eyes, that all that kind of stuff. You know, so let me tell you about so I've got good news and bad news, basically two of them. Um but let me I think the basically trying to think how to put this. the, the good news is the way how I'm going to tell you how to reduce the cold, how to reduce the power of the cold is the the, the, the good news is you can reduce the cold. That's the good news. You can reduce the power of the cold. And the bad news is, well, if I say what the bad news is, it's gonna reveal what I'm about to say. But let me explain myself. Um, Back I think towards the end of last year, um, I was on this diet. Well, that is actually the bad. That was the bad news. So you just got the bad news if you're following me. So basically, back last year, I don't know what month it was. I think it was in the summer. I think it was in the summer, or could I'm not sure what month it was. Um, it was definitely last year. Somewhere towards the end of last year, between the summer and the winter, end of winter, beginning of end of summer, beginning of winter, somewhere around there. But towards the end of the year, um, basically I wasn't sleeping. I wasn't sleeping. I wasn't sleeping properly, and I wasn't passing any stools. Sorry to be graphic if you're eating. So I wasn't eating. Wasn't eating. Sorry. I wasn't sleeping, and I wasn't passing any stools. So um, what it was, and it was actually this has been going on for a long time, because I was also in bed. I was also in bed. There was one stage I was because I think this has been happening since if I think it was 2011. I think it started in 2011, 2012, because I was in that time I was actually vomiting, because at one stage I was vomiting for the whole day, not properly, not non-stop. I was vomiting. I just couldn't keep anything down properly, because I was just like bringing it up all the time. So in the end, I went to the doctors, and the doctors prescribed me a medication, which was it's sort of like a laxative. It stops you. It's not a laxative, but it stops you from vomiting, basically. So the doctors were like examining me and saying, you need to they were just checking my stomach, just pressing it down on my stomach. And they saying that you're not getting rid of the food in your body, and they said he was touching my stomach. He was touching my stomach. He said you gotta get rid of all this sort of thing. Um, that's what he was kind of saying. So the doctors were like giving me another laxative. I think it was helping me to go to the toilet. It's like a natural laxative, but I can't remember the medication. But it was natural. Um, so I was taking all those things, and it wasn't really working. But towards the end, like I said, towards the end of the year, because I had to figure it out what this problem was, because no one really seemed to find a proper reason why I was actually getting sick. Because some of the time I couldn't eat a lot. I had to weigh my food, especially at night times when I was about to when I was about to eat my last meal before I got to bed. Um, I had to weigh my food, basically, just to literally weigh it gram by gram. I had to weigh it and see, because I couldn't eat above above I think it was above it was either 150 grams. I couldn't eat above 150 grams or something like that, above 150 grams. So I couldn't eat above that. So I got to the stage where I thought, and I had to ask her. I was asking Holland about it as well, about how to eat the right food. That wasn't really working really, and also I didn't have a lot of energy as well, which was the problem. And I was eating a lot of, and I was eating a lot of meat as well, and it wasn't much veg. Was there wasn't much veg I was having. So towards the end of last year, I decided like I think I just kind of like thought about it, and I just thought, I don't really know what kind of spurred this idea up. I just decided that because I know a lot of people talk about meat. A lot of people, a lot of people on the Christian TV, they say, we're not supposed to eat. We weren't human beings weren't built to eat meat all the time. We were meant to be vegetarians. Really, every human being was meant to be vegetarians. It was only because of the fall that's why we started eating meat. Um, so I think I decided after it's been preached to me a lot on Christian TV. I decided that towards that in that period I decided that I'm going to actually give this thing a try. So what I did was I basically radically changed my just really radically changed my diet. So what I did was I basically started to eat because once basically I had this is the run, this is the lowdown basically. um it was two two days in a week. So either it's basically Monday and Tuesday I would have fish. Basically it's normally I normally have the ones, the tin fish that's high in omega 3. So that's mackerel or tuna. No, not tuna. Mackerel or mackerel or mackerel or sardines. One of those two I usually have. But something with omega 3 in it. That's something that's high in omega 3. I buy those ones that are in a tin. I mean, I can cook now. I know how to cook the one in the I know how to cook it from scratch anyway, but I haven't tried it properly. So I had those two of those in the. I had that Monday and Tuesday. The high the omega 3 fishes, omega 3 fishes. I have that two Monday and Tuesday, and then I will have no. I'll start again. Basically, I have the two junk foods. I have the two junk foods Monday and Tuesday. That's what I'm having currently. That's Monday and Tuesday. I have the junk food. Then Wednesday and Thursday I'll have the the fishes, the high in omega 3 fishes. That's so by Thursday I would have had two junk and two fishes, and by so by Friday, so Fri Fridays, so Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. It's just so I have the meat, the fish, the two meats, the two junk meat at the beginning of the week, and the two fishes at the sort of like middle of the week, and then and the rest of the time is just pure veg, pure veg. So what I do is I have cereal in the morning with fruits, with dried fruits on top, and then lunchtime I'll have the those meals depending what type of depending on what type of day it is. I will swap around depending on what I'm doing during the day as well. And and last thing at night I'll have a sandwich, or have some sort of sandwich, some sort of handmade sandwich, or buy in the shop, buy in the supermarket sandwich, or ready-made sandwich. So that's what I do. That's what I did. That's what I did. But the sandwich I didn't. The sandwiches I didn't start to. I didn't start to incorporate that until like beginning of this year. But I wasn't doing it so much last year. But yeah, that's what I did. Um, that's what I did for like every week. So like basically the diet that I'm having, I didn't actually know what the name of it was. I didn't actually know what the name of it was until somebody mentioned it to me in church. And that type of diet is actually called the fast two diet. It's where you have like two of something. Um, I don't know how it works out exactly because I don't think the lady explained it to me properly. But somebody else said it again. It was a fast food diet. The lady at the Holland and Barrett. So so I've been doing that since the end, since last year, towards the end of last year. That period that I've just said, and like since then, I think basically I've had a sore throat, but I think that sore throat was because of was my own causing, because I was clearing my throat too regularly, and got me a sore throat. So that was the only sore throat I had last year in the winter, but that was because of me. But if I didn't have it, I wouldn't have had a cold. But just recently, I think it was only this week or last week I started getting a cold, and I basically the cold was because normally my colds in the past, my colds were like really heavy, and it was very depressing, and it was very strong, the colds that I used to have. And in those days I didn't really have, not never, but I didn't really have much veg. I have it once in a while. I wasn't so I think some days or one day I would go without no veg at all in one day, in one whole day. And when the cold comes, it really came heavy, and it really came, and it was very depressing. So when I when I started the fast 2 diet, and I had this cold last week or this week, the cold it was basically one, the cold came on a Friday evening. Normally my colds come like earlier in the daytime, but this one, it came late in the evening. We're talking about like um can't really remember. It was like really late in the evening. I think it might have been like six, between 5 and 7 and 8. And then after when it came on a Friday, and once it came, it was very light. I mean, you couldn't really, you couldn't. I mean, you know it was there because you can feel it, but it just wasn't so heavy. It wasn't so depressing. Because sometimes with colds, you can't really focus on what you're doing. You just too bunged up to concentrate. Like you're so bunged up you can't really concentrate. But with this one, because was on a fast 2 diet, um, it wasn't so heavy, and I could find I could do my normal things. You know, I wasn't like focusing on it all the time. And as the days go by, and because it lasted for 6 days. Normally my colds last 7 days and it'll go. So this one lasted 6 days, and by the like the towards the end of the 6 days, I wasn't even sure if I had a cold because it was so light. And that's how I and I do believe it's because of the fast 2 diet. That's why it's not so strong. Um, a few people say that because it was because of the fall. That's why we had the common cold. But and it's because of Adam and Eve, because we had the we had the colds. We have the common cold. But basically, I do believe it's down to diet. It's down to your diet. Why you have the why you have the why you have the cold. But I don't have. I do have a certificate. I do have so yeah. So it's down to diet. It's not really down to the fall of men. Why why we suffer from colds? It's actually it's purely down to diet. So it's not down to the diet. It's not down to Adam and Eve. Um, when they fail. I do have a certificate in nutrition, but it's very basic. Um, also, so basically, what I think what it is it's just that most of my diet is purely most of my diet is purely veg, and most of the time I'm having I'm having most of the time I'm having veg, and I have two fishes in the week, two fishes a week. But the thing is, there are some times in the diet that I have, I will only eat meat once in a week. Sometimes I don't even have meat two days in a week. So that's another thing as well. So all in all, I end up having most of my diet being veg. So for me personally, when I when I when I went onto the when I went back on when I went to the when I started the fast food diet, basically I was going to the toilet regularly, like every day, at least every day, or sometimes I miss one day, but I will actually go again the next day. Um, second of all, before second of all, I was I'm actually sleeping very well. In the past, I didn't really sleep properly. I still don't really sleep, but I do sleep. Sometimes I get the minor hiccups of not sleep, not of waking up and going back to sleep. But I eventually get this proper sleep that I need. Um, it does make you sleepy. Being on the fast food diet. Sometimes you can, because I remember quite a lot of times when I wake up, because I sleep on my front, um, with my head covered, everything covered. Um, so I know when I wake up and I'm sleeping on my front, when I'm woken up and I turn around and lie on my back just to relax and wake myself up, I end up falling back asleep, and I don't normally I don't know I have never slept on my back before, and even if I do sleep on my back, I end up waking up anyway, and so that's how tired I can become. Is that when I'm lying on my back, I end up waking up. I end up going to sleep. So and the other benefits that has happened to me whilst I'm on a fast food diet is that what was it I have a lot more energy, because before I didn't have any energy at all, but now that I'm on the fast food diet, I have a lot more energy, so I can run for buses, and I don't get like out of breath, because I used to get out of breath. So yeah, I think that's actually it. Oh, I wish I could have merged them. Yeah. Okay then. Yeah, that's it. That's it. Thanks for watching again, and God bless.